I don't even know where to start. We got Fort Worth, Texas. We got Philadelphia. I told y'all yesterday that the top three cities, quite possibly, that is the worst ran was maybe Baltimore, Chicago, maybe Philly. I don't know. Baltimore, Chicago, and Philly. Three cities that you're going to have to pull me down the yellow brick road to get me to step up and do a meetup in those cities because I don't want no problems. No problems. Oh, we got a full show for you today. This is not a half a show. This is a whole show. We're going to address divorce. We're going to talk about Philadelphia. We're also going to talk about Devin Haney. Oh, yes. Devin. I almost left him alone, but I see that little shot he threw, so we're going to go ahead and have a conversation about it. We're going to talk about Devin Haney. You guys brought it to my attention, so this is your fault. We're going to talk about college. I might even get into women that's going into trucking. I'm going to have a whole conversation, all right? But let me start off with Philly. So apparently they found up to 7 people that has been shot. 4 to 5 of them is pronounced deceased. And in Fort Worth, Texas, they had some spraying on the streets also. What the hell is happening in this country, man? What's going on? I know from time to time we get that guy, the pale face that goes up in the church and all of that, or that goes into schools, and we mourn for that and we pray against it and we advocate against it, and then it sparks debate. But this type of stuff that we see happening in the neighborhoods that you guys celebrate, frequent, and have grew up in the most, this happens every single day. Every day. Don't matter if the day before the 4th of July, if it's the week before, if it's Juneteenth, if it's Independence Day, Christmas. Niggas don't take a day off. That's why I'm in the office right now. Because the more that I work, the less trouble I can possibly get into. The more that I work, the less possible trouble that I can get into. I almost worked from home because I was like, you know what? It's just safer here. I sat on my balcony last night and we were overlooking the water and I was looking at the fireworks and stuff like that. And I said, it's safer here. It's safer here just sitting on the balcony, watching my daughter pack up so that she can go over there and, catch her flight this morning. Shout out to Leslie. I know you listening to the show tonight. And so my daughter is catching her flight to go into her next Taekwondo competition. Rita's over there typing furiously. Why? How do I know? Because I can hear her nails. Right after she dropped my daughter off at the airport, she came down here to the office and she brought breakfast. I said, this is peace. This is peace. Boring is peaceful. Working is peaceful. You make money, you stay out of trouble, you don't get caught up in this nigga shit, and I'm going to stop cussing. I'm telling you, I'm working on it. I got some vices in my life. I was sitting here complaining this morning. I said, I got to make some changes. It's about 3 things that I need to change in my life in order to get to that next level. I'm working on them. God ain't done with me yet, but we going to get there. But Philadelphia. So shout out to Philadelphia. Let me bring you guys up to speed on what's happening in Fort Worth, Texas, and Philadelphia. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Also, in addition to that, make sure that you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's get into the show, y'all.
This morning, yet another community in America reeling from a mass shooting after a gunman opened fire in Philadelphia, shooting 7 people, killing 5, and injuring 2 children.
All right, all units use caution. We got somebody with a long gun.
Police say The suspect was armed with an AR-15 style rifle and a handgun, carrying a police scanner and wearing a bulletproof vest. The suspect still firing as police were at the scene.
As they were scooping up the victims and preparing them for transport to the hospital, they also heard multiple gunshots up the street.
Officers chasing down the suspect, finally cornering him in an alley.
He was taken into custody without further incident.
Investigators say they currently do not have a motive in the shootings and do not know if the suspect is connected to any of the victims. Police also taking a second person into custody.
We have another person that we believe acquired a gun somehow, don't know how, and picked up the gun and returned fire in the direction of the shooter that we have in custody.
This incident comes just one day after 2 other mass shootings. In Baltimore, where a community block party descended into chaos as gunfire erupted, killing 2 and injuring more than 24 others. And in Wichita, Kansas, 9 people shot and wounded at a nightclub.
Now, how much do y'all want to bet that City Nights right here? Because the first thing that I asked myself when y'all were sending this to me last night and this morning, the first thing that I asked myself is, why are they neglecting to tell us the description of the possible suspect that executed and did whatever it is that he did egregiously over in Philadelphia? Why are they neglecting? Because I have a strong suspicion that this person could possibly be a black man. 40-year-old black man, 1 year younger than me, black man. Everything that you see coming out on the news, Baltimore, Wichita, Kansas, over there at City Nights. Y'all think he white? Do y'all think he white? Somebody send me some proof. Somebody send me some proof. Somebody let me know whether or not this person is a white man or a black man. I got my money on it being a black man. I have my money. If I have to bet, I'm going to bet that it is a black man. In Philly, it could be a white man. But think about this for a second, though. Have we become so politically correct? We got several different issues here. Have we become so politically correct to where we can't even truly identify who the person is because we don't want to upset the Twitter police? I want to know who these people are. I want to know. You know why? Because I want to be able to profile. I want to be able to stereotype. I want to be able to profile, and I want to be. They say, Anton, you shouldn't stereotype. That's exactly what the FBI do. How do I know? Because I watched the Mindhunters, and I seen how they came up with the FBI profiling division so they can go over there and catch serial killers and all of these the worst of the people that's in the world. How can it be offensive when the FBI uses it to catch the most egregious people? They put together a profile based off of the behaviors that they see that's common amongst people that execute and do these horrible things. So why are we not profiling some of the people that's in the hood? Why are we not profiling these shooters? Why are we not profiling these people so that we can have proactive and preventative measures, not only for ourselves, but to be able to catch them ahead of time? The FBI put together profiles, so now I'm supposed not to be able to say you black because you like chicken, watermelon, and you wear your hair to the side, you got a blonde wig, and then you got a tattoo on your neck that say Ray Ray. If it's good enough for the federal government to do it, it's good enough for me. Why? I searched high and I searched low. I searched far and I searched wide to try to understand who these people are. Because you know what they're going to do. They're going to release the possible vision or the arrest record of the suspect way when the story died down, because y'all don't want to sit here and say it was a white man or it was a black man. I need to know Who is in the middle of doing this stuff? See, I could put together my context clues right here and I could say, oh, City Nights? Oh, that's a black man. Whoever was in Wichita, Kansas, whoever is in Wichita, Kansas, doing whatever it is that they doing, and City Nights, that's a black man. In Baltimore, at a house party and a block party at 12:30 a.m., oh yeah, that's a black man right there. That's a black man right there. In a church, it's probably a white man. If it's near a holiday, it's probably a black man. You know why? If it goes from cold to hot, if the weather change, it's a black man. This is my profiling. This is my FBI profiling investigation. I'm going to send it over to the Federal Bureaus of Investigators later. If the weather change from 45 somewhere to 70, 78, 79 degrees, if it get too warm outside, I know it's going to be a whole bunch of niggas out there. And it's going to get ugly. Oh, yeah, I profile.
Back in Philadelphia, the mayor saying he's horrified by the shootings, writing, "My heart is with the loved ones and families of everyone involved, and I send my prayers to the victims."
Yeah, and police say this crime scene is massive. Authorities will be back out there this morning canvassing. Police have yet to release the names of those two suspects that were apprehended. And again, still no word on a motive this morning. Craig?
I'm going to go over to the commissioner, who happens to be a black woman, and we want to see what the black woman has to say as far as the commissioner. Thank you, Persevere Data TV. I'm going to be reading the super chat shortly. Let's switch over to the commissioner of Philadelphia so that she can give us a more accurate picture of what was going on out here in these streets.
So at about 8:29 tonight, officers were flagged down in the area behind me at about 56 and Chester Street. We also received multiple calls about gunfire in the area. When officers responded, they did identify and find some gunshot victims. As they were scooping up the victims and preparing them for transport to the hospital, they also heard multiple gunshots up the street at 56 and Kingsessing Avenue, where multiple casings were found by us after the fact. While on Kingsessing, they heard additional gunshots, multiple gunshots, in the area of 1800 block of Frazier. At some point,
Jesus.
They locate the suspect, and they were able to pursue this male who was on foot. The officers were on foot as well. And
don't just say male. I want to know if it's a black male, a white male, a Hispanic, an immigrant. I want to know who this guy is. I want to know if it's a man, a woman, a he, she, a lady boy. I want to know your sexual preference. I want to know whether you married. I want to know whether you tall, short. I want to know how old you are. I want to know everything. Please just don't hit me with the ooh option bang and just say it's a male, because we're not going to be acknowledging your pronouns. We don't want to know if you identify as she, shim, zer. I want to get right to it. Who was it? Why was he there? And what kind of gold teeth did he have in his mouth? Or did he have all of his teeth? Because if you didn't have all of your teeth, it's a strong possibility you're a meth head. I want to know everything. Shout out to Jay Claudio. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly.
they followed or pursued this male from Kingsessing along Frazier Street to Springfield while the male was shooting. Our officers were able to apprehend the male in the rear alley of 1600 Frazier Street. And when they did, this male was wearing a bulletproof vest with multiple magazines in the vest. He also had a scanner and an AR-style rifle and a handgun underneath his body. He was taken into custody.
Yep, that was a white man. That's a white man all day. The context clues, she just told me that was a white man without it being a white man. Because if it's a black man, first of all, I know that you're not going to be strategic military style. You're not doing that. You're not doing. You probably, if it's a black man, you're going to hold your one to the side. You're not going to put it to the front. You're going to put it to the side. You're going to hit 87 people. And all of them going to be hit in all different places from the ranges of 2 to 70. That's the last time that was happening over there in Chicago. They went from 2 to 70. This man, the chat is saying it. The chat said, listen, this man is coming too prepared. He had a 50-cent bulletproof vest from Get Rich or Die Trying in there. He had extra magazines. He had a handgun, and he had an AR Star. No, that's a white man. That is all Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've been looking at too many Reddit forums on the dark net, doing things I ain't supposed to do. My girlfriend left me. I ain't been getting no pussy. The family court is against me. Somebody called me a wigger in an Instagram comment, and I got pissed off, and so I prepared myself, and I went to Walmart and got all of my artillery suppliers, and then I also got my police scanner. This man walking around with a police scanner and a vest and 2 heaters? Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a white man. That is a white man. Listen, white people prepare. I know we all in the same boat as far as being human beings. I know we all like to have our pronouns. But the reality is that white people prepare, even when doing crime, much more effectively than black people. That's for sure. That's a fact. Yeah, the DC guy, that was a long time ago. And the DC guy, he looked like he went to white schools. The DC sniper, he looked like he went to white schools. Like, he wasn't like black. He wasn't like, give us free black. He was like, hey guys, you want to go play pickleball black? It's a difference in blacks. Listen, don't tell me not to stereotype. I like to pay attention to what's happening out here in these streets. The DC guy was not give us free. Shout out to J Dubs. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. He wasn't give us free black. He was Carlton black. It's a difference. Okay? It's a difference. That's just a fact. But let me finish. Go ahead and let her finish saying what she got to say so she could discuss it.
Without further incident. What we know right now is that there are 6 shooting victims, 4 of which are deceased. 2 that are stable are juveniles, a 2-year-old and a 13-year-old.
The 2 that did not pass away. The 2 that did not pass away was 2 years old, a 2-year-old that has been hit. This world is demonic. It is absolutely demonic. In every way, shape, or form, a 2-year-old, demons are running around on this earth, and y'all don't want to acknowledge them. Demons are running around on this earth, and y'all acting like it's not a thing. No, we're not going to act like it didn't happen. We're not going to act like we don't see it. We're not going to act like it's not readily available for us to be able to identify it. Demons are running around on this earth. A 2-year-old, fam. Listen, it's a lot of things that I talk about. It's a lot of things that I go in about. It's a lot of things that I hold people accountable for. Come on, man. I just undid Connie, Rita. Connie, you good if you watching right now. Let me rewind that for the 2 ages.
A 2-year-old and a 13-year-old.
A 2-year-old and a 13-year-old. You got to be a sick person. You have to be one of the sickest people in the world to go and hit up a 2-year-old and a 13-year-old. You are purely evil and demonic, and I have no sympathy for you whatsoever. Let's continue.
The 4 deceased victims, their ages range from 20 to 59. One victim, we don't know who they are yet. We don't know how old they are, but they could be between the ages of 16 and 21. All of our
between 20 and 59, and then another victim, they don't know how old they are, but they could be between the ages of 16 and 20. And then they found another person at the end of it. This is crazy. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Listen, and you know what the worst part about this conversation is? Let me let her finish, and then I'm going to break this down even more.
Our shooting victims are male.
Let me go over to Fort Worth, Texas really quickly, and let's get the full story for that, because I'm going to break this down. I'm going to break this thing all the way down for you.
Natalie Haddad is standing by from the hospital where victims were taken. First, though, let's go live to Megan Mitchell, live at the police department. Megan, you were at the scene earlier. What can you tell us?
Yeah, we just have new updated numbers in
Reading
for
super
you.
chat
Good morning
shortly.
to you. So 8, now we know it was originally 8. 11 people have been shot in this neighborhood of Como here in Fort Worth. We now know that 3 people have died from their injuries, and it was a chaotic scene. Even when we were there 30 minutes ago, I mean, we could still hear those firecrackers going off, what sounded like gunshots or firecrackers. We couldn't even make it out at that point, but police were starting to take that crime scene tape down. At this hour, we know a number of things. As I mentioned, those updated numbers, but we also are aware of how this started. So that gunfire erupted just before midnight after what was supposed to be a celebration. Now, in the Como neighborhood, they have their...
Oh, I see the Charger Challenger over there. I see the lime green Charger over there. I see the Charger Challenger. I'm using my context clues right now. Late at night, past 12 o'clock at night, people out there partying. This is called, every day we're going to have a segment called the stereotype game. Profiling and stereotyping.
annual party on July 5th.
I'm going to present y'all with a crime that happened the night before, and then y'all going to tell me who it is that did it. Woman, man, tall, short, older, younger, black, white, Asian, whoever. We going to do a crime that happened, and then I want y'all to tell me who's the culprit, who's responsible for it.
3rd. It's supposed to be a joyous occasion. It's a long-standing tradition in this historic
Look at it.
neighborhood.
Hey, they zoomed in. They zoomed in. Oh, no, that's a 300. That's a Chrysler 300. That is a 300. That is a Chrysler 300. I'm looking right at it. That is a Chrysler 300 all day long. I know my cars. I can spot them. As soon as they zoomed in, I started putting on my glasses a little closer to my nose. That's all day a Chrysler 300. All day long. Not a Charger, not a Challenger, not a Hellcat. That's a 300, baby.
Fireworks were lighting up the night sky, and people were gathered for a barbecue. That quickly turned into panic as gunfire erupted.
And it was at a barbecue at past 12 o'clock at night. Rita, what color you think that these people are? You think they black? No, don't. No, you were saying it when you thought it was a white man. You were saying it with the chest. Now when it's black, it's black. They black for sure? Say it with your chest then.
It was just a terrifying moment for folks as those shots rang out. People scrambled to safety, trying to get away. The situation became even more chaotic as medical professionals from MedStar were unable to even access the scene because of those crowds. Police had to then load up victims into their squad cars and get them away from the scene so that they could get those victims into an ambulance. Police say it was just chaotic.
A lot of vehicle traffic, a lot of foot traffic. As you can tell, still fireworks were being shot off. Lots of people just trying to flee the area from the multiple.
They still shooting fireworks. They ain't even tripping about what just happened over there on the block next door. Yeah, these is them people, them folks.
Gunshots, so it was difficult for them to navigate quickly into the area.
Now that motive is unknown right now. We're also not sure how many people are suspects in this case, if there were people perhaps firing at each other. Of course,
hey, P, I'm reading
that's
that
all
shortly.
stuff that we're working to find out from Fort Worth Police. What we do know, as I mentioned right now, is that 11 people were shot in the Como neighborhood overnight. 3 people have died. Of course, we'll keep you updated from our end when we get more information. But
Tell us
we
all
also
the
know that there were
details.
8 victims that were taken to the hospital. Let's go now to our reporter Natalie Haddad, who's at JPS. Natalie, what have you seen?
I want to know the details. I want to know who the people are, what they look like,
Hi,
who was
Megan.
arrested.
We do not know how many of the overnight shooting victims have come here to JPS Hospital. We do not know their conditions, and we do not know if any of the victims brought here are among the 3 who died in those overnight shootings. Now, the scene here has significantly quieted down. Police are still here, but the crowd of people that were seemingly waiting for updates in the parking lot, and there was many, finally left after several hours. Now, during those several hours, even while we were here, we got here around 3 a.m., we heard several rounds of rapid gunfire in the neighborhood this hospital is in. We were hoping it was fireworks, but Fort Worth PD did respond to a gunfire call nearby. The people here that were waiting in the parking lot were certainly aware of it, but still they stayed. Now, for many hours this morning, the scene was quite active. There were significantly more police. Cars were steadily coming in and out of the parking lot. There is still crime scene tape here on the property right outside the emergency
Oh,
room.
yeah. Look at them. Yep. Going in to see their peoples. Listen, Rita. Solved. Solved right now. Solved. They going in to see their peoples. This is a solved stereotype profile. Yes, we know what was happening. I could tell you the motive. I could tell you that somebody got into it with somebody, probably over a chick, or it was a dice game that went left, and then homie just got mad and said, "Man, I'll run this whole thing up." And instead of humbling himself, he didn't want to look like no bitch, and so as a result, he had to let loose and let everybody have it. Oh yeah, oh yeah, this is it. I see it.
Doors. There's a car that is that investigators were taking pictures of.
Another 300. Look at them people. Look at them. Does it fit the description or does it fit the description? She got her hand all in her panties in the back and everything. She's scratching, itching and scratching and scratching and itching. Got that that Nelly Saint Lunatics white tee on, the ones where the sleeves come all the way past your elbows, and it's and the bottom all the way come all the way down to your knees, unfitted. He got listen. This is profiling at its finest. The young boy got dreads. The other woman got that white tee. In my white tee, huh? In my white tee. Yeah, this is absolutely fitting the description.
Crime scene tape surrounded in, and as law enforcement came in and out of the emergency room, we
taking
saw
pictures
them
of the
into
trunk.
Other cars.
Look at all of the look. Oh, wait a minute. Got the classic. Probably just got off a flight straight from Miami. Got the blue braids. Yeah.
Into other cars parked in the parking lot. Now, again, we don't know how many
shutting down the parking lot.
Shooting victims are here at JPS Hospital. We do not know their.
Yo, listen. All jokes aside, you know what the difference is? You know what the worst part about this whole conversation is? Honestly, once we put all of the jokes aside, in the black community versus the white community, the biggest difference is not the type of crime, is not that it should be classified any differently from a mass shooting or anything like that. You know what the biggest difference is? Most of the time when it happened in the black community, everybody already know who did it. Everybody but the police already know who did it. That's the only difference. We know who the killers are. Some of y'all are friends with dudes that you know is out here committing crimes and you still hanging around him waiting to get caught up with him. You probably gave him a ride to the store. And he probably rode dirty in your car on a ride to the store. You probably dropped him off. We know. And listen, in the black community, the one thing I know, before I move over into the next story, is that we all know who the demons are that's around us. I'm going to take it a step further. It's over 1,000 people watching this show right now, right? All of y'all from a different part of the country in a different household on your mobile device. I got some truckers that's riding right now. I got some people that just woke up. They off of work. I got some people that is off of, they off of school for summer vacation. Some people just, they friends suggested it over to them. BC, I'm reading Super Chat shortly. And you know what the worst part about this whole conversation is? 98% of the crime in our communities, as far as black culture, could be rooted out if y'all just been honest about who it is that you're aligning yourself with and who is in your family. You know who the pedos are. You know who filling on the little girls in y'all family. Y'all protecting them. What happens in this house stays in this house. You know who the dudes are that's selling drugs in your communities. You know who the shooters are. You know who the killers are. You know who the gang members are. You know who the women for the streets are. The thing about us is that we have zero bones about putting on Front Street about what it is that we about. If you getting money, they gonna know you getting money. If you a shooter, they gonna know you shooting. If you doing credit card scams and PPP loans, everybody know who got the PPP loan in the crib, in the hood. The barbershop know, your mama know, your daddy know, your sister know, the homies know, Instagram know. Everybody knows who's doing what. It is no secret. It is no secret whatsoever. And that's the difference, is that we embrace it, and that's what makes black culture and the things that we celebrate the most so toxic. We will make a whole song about it. I know I'm part of black culture because I can't wait to show my bank account when somebody starts talking shit. I can't wait to throw all of my rollies on. Nigga, who you talking to? I'm still trying to unlearn that shit. I'm still trying to move low key. Okay, we gonna move a little bit differently. Let's put a mask on as we're going through the airport. We don't want nobody to go. We know, listen, we be on Instagram, can't wait to post it. I can't wait for a nigga to say some shit about me so I can go big bank, take little bank, nigga. Big bank, take little bank. The difference is that I don't have to worry about none of that stuff because my taxes is up to date and I've never done anything illegal and I'm not worried about getting arrested, so I'm cool with it. But everybody know everybody and what everybody is doing, and it is not no secret. You know who the chick is for the streets. You know where she gonna be at. You know where to go meet her at. You know who the hustlers are. You know who the scammers are. You know who the shooters are. You know who the killers are. You know who the dude. You know everybody know not to leave your daughter or your niece around that uncle that keep on going like this behind the little girl. Hey. You want to sit on my lap? Hey, go get her some peach cobbler. Go get her. Sir. Leroy. Get on away from her. Get on away from them kids. Leroy, stop. You don't even have to. Leroy already know that you know what he up to. And so you give him the look and Leroy is like, I ain't even doing nothing. Then what am I telling you to stop and what are you not doing then? What do you think that I'm accusing you of that you doing that you ain't doing? Everybody know. Everybody know to keep your niece and your nephew and your nephew away from Leroy. Leroy over there messing with the kids again. Why is Leroy 63 still in there trying to play video games with playing Twister? Why is Leroy playing Twister with the kids? Somebody go get Leroy. Somebody go get Leroy.